Thank you. Sorry? Yeah, provide links, it's fine, yeah.
Is there any other comment from the floor in relation to the presentation we've just received regarding the new Angagan website? If not, then again I would like to thank I recognize the delegate from Latvia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to say that a new website is really very nice, and it seems user-friendly too, and very attractive. Only I have one question or request might be regarding the resolutions of conferences of geographical name standardization. Where in this website we can find a path to those resolutions. It will be worth to show some paths to resolutions, how to search or to offer some kinds of search for resolutions, might be for object of resolutions or by number or by conference. Thank you.
I will pass the floor to Mr. Gamletov.
Thank you very much for that question, Honourable Delegate of Latvia. Very nice spotted. It's actually not in the new webpage yet. It will be available most likely directly from the right margin, but we may also add it to the resources page as a point of entry. With regard to how to be able to search the resolutions as it is now, there's a database that's maintained by the Republic of Korea, which is searchable, and then what we have on the United Nations homepages is PDFs of the resolution, and the PDF site will remain in the same way. We have not as such any concrete plans of any search interface on our homepage. It may be developed in the future, but right now it's basically, getting everything transferred, but very well spotted. It's not there yet. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other question or comment? I recognize a distinguished delegate from Jordan.
Mr. Chairman, allow me to begin by thanking those who updated the Angagan website in its new format. And here I would like to note that the Arab Division for Geographic Names have 3 years ago established a special website for the Arab Division. We have taken a lot of sources from your flexible site, and we continue, hopefully, to benefit from this dynamic new website. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. Again, is there any further comment that anybody would like to make in relation to this presentation? If not, then if I can just summarize briefly the comments of the proceedings under agenda item 4 that we have just been considering as we have reached the conclusion of the listed items. In this situation, we have been focusing upon the changes that are happening within the Angagan space. Not just the changes to the operational modality, but the other changes that we felt were appropriate to be run in partnership with these changes to the operational modality. And there has been considerable work undertaken by a number of people to effect those changes. As you can see from the presentation now and also the presentation regarding the country and city names data. These changes are aimed to improve how Angagan operates. So as was strongly mentioned, the feedback from anybody, any delegate, any country, any division will be very important to allow us to be effective in ensuring that the changes that we make to websites, to databases, are beneficial for all members. So please feel very free to put forward whatever ideas that you feel would be appropriate. They may not all be met at the same time, but I think they would be considered very carefully. Changes is something that we need to accept, and I believe that the changes that have been considered for this part of the agenda are beneficial. I think the concept of a strategic plan and work plan for Angagan in the future will be a very strong document that all of us can use within our own environments as well as within the Angagan environment to help us justify why we come here and gain maximum benefits from our attendance. So that will be a task for the new Bureau to consider, but I hope that they will adopt that as suggested and working with the body prepare something very beneficial for everybody. Unless there are any other comments, this will conclude the consideration of Agenda Item 4. Before I commence with the consideration of Agenda Item 5, I would just like to make a general announcement for all delegates who may be involved in having presentations, visual presentations that they would like to have displayed during any time of the session. If you could please ensure that you deliver that presentation to Mark, who is sitting down the front here. He's tall, you'll be able to find him, so that he can make sure that it is available, and working on the system so that they can be used effectively and smoothly in the operation of the session. So if you could bear that in mind if you do have a presentation. In accordance with the organisation of work, we will now begin the consideration of Agenda Item 5, Reports, and Sub-Item A, Reports of Governments on the situations in their countries and on the progress made in the standardisation of geographical names. Under this item, the group of experts has before it, for information purposes, some 41 reports prepared by member states. And I have a list of them. I will not probably read all of them out because you can see them in your agendas and we don't need to take the time. But I would like to thank the countries that have taken the time to prepare these reports. In the past, and this is going back some time, we did have the reports presented, but we found that the time component was unable to allow us to have them presented during this type of session because of the amount of time that giving 41 reports would take. So there has been a process in the past to summarize these reports and produce a summary of them. But this particular session, I would like to try something a little bit different so that we can gain some learnings from these reports in a different way. I have prepared a summary of them very briefly, but then I have also gone through and found particular questions that I would like to address to specific countries. And please note that if your country isn't one that I have a question for, that does not mean that your report was not important. It's just that I didn't need to ask any questions. And that is something please bear in mind. And I've also ask the Bureau and working group conveners to do the same if they have particular questions or if any of you have particular questions you would like to address to a country about their report. This is the time to do so. Over the years that I've been reading these country reports, I have been impressed by the work that is happening across the world.